Protests erupt in America against Trump's tariff policy. Chants of "Trump must go back" echo nationwide. Have you ever wondered how a country hailed as the epitome of democracy, where freedom of expression holds the highest place in its constitution, could see its own citizens taking to the streets against their own president? The very nation that has long taught the world about trade, liberty, and progress now finds itself entangled in the web of its own policies. Thousands of voices are rising together on the streets of America, chanting, "Trump must go back." This slogan is no longer just a symbol of protest. It has now become an emblem of the deep-seated anger and dissatisfaction brewing within the United States. There was a time when Trump's re-election sparked celebrations across the country, but now the same public is rallying against him. What has changed? What happened that the president who ran the nation on the slogan of "America First" is now seen as someone whose decisions are tearing the country apart from within? Today, we will delve deep into this very issue. But before that, if you are new to our channel, please don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an update from us. So, let's begin today's discussion without any further delay. Trump's tariff policy has stirred up such a storm within America that it is no longer just a matter of political debate. It has now begun to affect the everyday lives of millions of ordinary citizens. When Trump implemented heavy tariffs on products imported from other countries, it was initially presented as a bold nationalist move. However, as time passed, the negative consequences started to emerge. The tariffs had a direct impact on American consumers. Items that were once affordable became expensive. Major industries began to fall behind in the global competition, and as a result, a wave of layoffs swept across the country. Now, the very people who once believed Trump was making the country great again are taking to the streets in open protest against him. The protests aren't limited to just a few places. People in nearly every one of America's 50 states are raising their voices against Trump's tariff policy. From Washington, D.C. to California, and from New York to Texas, the slogan, "Trump must go back," is echoing across the nation. This movement isn't confined to economic concerns anymore. It has taken the form of a social uprising. Protesters are not only questioning trade policies but also arguing that such policies are harming the very foundations of America's democratic and human rights values. LGBTQ communities, women's rights organizations, civil rights groups, and trade unions have all come together with a united voice, stating that these policies are pushing them backward, not just economically but socially as well. The intensity of this protest can be gauged by the fact that, on 6th April, demonstrations were held at over 1,200 locations across the U.S. These protests were part of a campaign called "Hands Off," which openly opposed the Trump administration's aggressive tariff and deportation policies. At the National Mall in Washington, D.C., thousands gathered holding banners and chanting powerful slogans against the policy. In Manhattan, huge crowds brought traffic to a standstill as chants like "Fight the oligarchy" echoed through the streets. These protests are a clear signal that the public is no longer willing to remain silent. They are determined to defend their rights at any cost. The very next day, on Sunday, 7th April, the protests escalated to an even larger scale. A new rally under the name "Hands On" was organized, with events held at over 1,400 locations across the country. More than 600,000 people had registered online for this campaign, which in itself reflects the intensity and widespread support of the movement. The phrase "hands on," meaning "stay away from our rights," became the very essence of the protest. Participants in these rallies were not just angry, they were highly organized and strategically prepared. Many wore blindfolds over their eyes, a powerful symbol representing oppression and the silencing of voices by those in power. These demonstrations weren't just emotional outbursts. Every act, every symbol carried a deeper, Deliberate message. The masked faces of the protesters sent a grave signal that Trump's government is trying to suppress free voices. This wasn't just a protest, it was a powerful rebellion wrapped in the language of peace. According to many sociologists and political experts, this movement has become the largest civilian uprising since the Black Lives Matter movement of 2020. What's especially remarkable is that this movement isn't limited to one group or community. Voices are rising from every corner of society: black, white, women, transgender people, workers, students, all have come together in unity against Trump's tariff policy and the associated decisions of his administration. Now the question arises, what exactly is the harm being caused to America by these tariffs? In reality, due to Trump's tariff policy, foreign companies are being forced to pay heavy taxes to sell their products in the US. This has a direct impact on the prices of goods sold in America. As products become more expensive, the financial burden on the average citizen increases. The middle class, already struggling with inflation, is now facing an even greater crisis. Essentials like food items, medicines, electronics, and cars, everything is getting more expensive. On one hand, unemployment is rising, and on the other, so are expenses. This double blow is breaking the backbone of American society. The US is the world's largest importer. This means that America relies on other countries even for the smallest of its needs. Whether it's electronics from China, medicines from India, or cars and fashion brands from Europe, all are integral parts of the American market. Due to Trump's tariff policy, when heavy duties were imposed on these items, their prices naturally increased, and public outrage grew in equal measure. The American public, which has long been a consumer of these imported goods, now finds itself being pushed away from them. Their budgets, plans, and overall quality of life are all being negatively affected. But the most serious aspect of this entire situation is that this policy is not just causing economic damage, it is also deepening social and political divisions. Trump's tariff policy has become a symbol, a reflection of a mindset that, under the guise of nationalism, is sidelining global cooperation. And that is why this protest is no longer just about policy. It has turned into a major struggle over the very direction of America's future. Ultimately, these protests are a clear indication that the upcoming presidential election will not be an easy road for Trump. These voices of dissent, this anger, and this widespread opposition have cast serious doubts over his policies. And if this wave of resistance continues, it's very possible that Trump's political journey may come to a halt right here. The real question is no longer whether the tariffs are right or wrong. The question is, when the people take to the streets, should those in power remain silent?
If our video has taught you something new, do not forget to like and share this video so that this information can reach others as well. Your likes and shares are a source of inspiration for us. If you have any questions or suggestions, please let us know in the comments. It will be our honor to answer your questions and listen to suggestions. And yes, if you like our content, subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so that you stay connected with every new story. Thank you. GRT Business YouTube channel sources, news from various news agencies, opinion polls and other public sources. We try to ensure that every report and summary is accurate and verified, but we are not responsible for any dispute or error. Our aim is only to provide you with accurate information.